opening prayer. Oh, Mother Saint James, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering this heavenly. I will still live in the state of answer past, perfect, complete, precious of Buddhahood. Oh, Mother Saint James, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering this heavenly. I will still wish them in the still one surpass perfect complete the precious of Buddhahood. Dala dam zebe da no bar zebe ge tarba dam je jembe barde jo bar zeba dam je zor zebe manam ka nambe dam je dewa dam de dong ara dam ro nyor de la na me yang da bar za jo ro do bar za like may I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. Under death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the Kandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the Mandalas Vayadams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble darkness and darkness and the Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Under I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas, as the previous Buddhas embodied enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path. To for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta and apply myself to complete each stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge under enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all Mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Seven long prayer. I'm going to do the Tibetan. Ma jianye zedai soje jede na jizon sheba meye zinge geng. Dage ma le de da dam je la le da nga ye dang we sa je wo. Zang bo je be mo lai do dai ge jar wa dam je ye je ngon zong de. Shenge denye le ra do ba ye jar wa gen la rab de san se lo. Der je de nai der nye zang je na zang ye se je we nai jo ba da. Te dar ji je ye na ma le ba dam je jar wa da ge gang wa ra bo. Te dai nga ba me se jam so na yang je ye na jam so ra gen ji. Jar wa gen je yong de rab ju je de wa ra je ba dam je da ge tu. Me do dam ban zhen wa dam ba da zhen ye nam da zu ba dong jo dang. Mar men jo dan du be dam ba ye jar wa de da la ne jo pa ra je. Na za dam ba nam da zhen jo da ze me bu ma ra nyam ba dang. Ko ba je ba ba be jo gen je jar wa de da la ne jo pa ra je. Choba gana la me ja je wa de da ja wa dam je la ya me. Zambo ju la de be do da ge jar wa gen la san sa ren je pa ra je. De ja i je dan do mo wang ge ne le da na dan de yin ye ji jang. De ba da ge ji ba jin ji ba de da dam je da ge so so re. Soje jarwa gendan sanje se ranger namda loda meloda rowa genje zona ganla yang de da genje jit da yera kanai soje je de roma da sanje rambara sanje majani Gombo de da da ge dam je lan kolo lana me ba go Nyang da wara jigen de da la nyang rowa gen la bin jen de ser karba jeng de nye yo ba yan da ge da mo ra ja zor wai san se wa da in ju jen ya wa da in ji se ye ran go jen zor wa ye ge wa jun se da ge je sa ba tam je zo be san jo ze ngo the ground is sprinkled with the sanctuary water, and is strewed with the flowers. It is adorned with the meadow, the spring mountain, the four continents, and sun and the moon. As the Buddha fair, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fairs. To the Lamas who possess the Tirikayas, I offer water in the sacred offerings. With my body, worth, and all that is visible, please grant with the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever Mary I have gathered through postations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseech, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment of our sentient beings, our desire dedicate. Om Guru Rina Mandala Banza Manga Samandra Savaran Samaya Ho. I call refuge, honor of the world. Your firm provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor, Vajradhara, with our dropped, above at the feet of Father and Jiktin Songo. Continue laughing with no one but you. Compassion, one grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of man. Please turn the way of Dharma of the two vehicles and the combination according to disposition, likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. Page 32, Manjushri. This. They don't, you don't have there. Yeah, you have only teaching. So this prayer is Achan first. His wisdom is bright like the sun, very overcloud over two workers, and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text in his heart. He has compassion for beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance in the prison of samsara, as a father for only son. Like a thunderclap, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma. Through the 60th branch of Haramana's speech, he wears the wisdom sword to cut the saddling of suffering, to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of our knowledge. As I look at the human gesture adorned by the 112 Sons of Buddha to dispel the darkness of my ignorance, on Arapasanade, 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 on Arapasanade. On Arabazanade, on Wangajoromo, 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 Wangajoromo. Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo, Wange Joromo. You who are the perfect youthful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel the darkness of worldly ignorance, I posted before you and praise you, Manjushri. Tamke doje shaje reizan chong yin je ma de de je bong jong ba ser je lembo tawar ji pe ge xiao je jar be sha la zor wan de doje chang jin de lo na ro da mar ba me la ji je gang bo ba pa mo zhe ba jar wan ji gong be ga je lama nam la zor wan de zhe men ji je yan je bo zhang ne de zong sang je gen je ngo wo ne ran sen ji ge ngong song dong ze be Save lame javla zorwande. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, so it's a Vipassana section, chapter 6. Chapter 6, yeah, chapter 6. So now I'm going to share today Vipassana teaching. We did the last 2 weeks Shamatha section. So this book is called Stage of Meditation, Waking the Mind, and we have 8 chapters. So first chapter, how to meditate on the 4 thoughts that turn the mind. Second chapter is how to meditate on love. Third is how to meditate on compassion. Fourth is how to meditate on bodhicitta. So the first 4 chapter is method relative to the bodhisattva practice. Now last 4 is absolute truth bodhicitta. So how to meditate shamatha, that's we already talked. Shamatha meditation. Today we are in the how to meditate on Vipassana section. So shamatha Vipassana meditation is similar, but it's different too, some difference. Then shamatha is more for beginners. Vipassana go up to more deeper level. So the Vipassana also has here two different sections. The second, how to meditate on Vipassana. The second part of this teaching is explanation of Vipassana. It's a Tibetan called Lam Thong. So Tibetan we usually, this one says Lam Thong. Lam Thong means you never see something before, so you're going to seeing that. It's called Lam Thong. That's why English we say spatial insight meditation. Why is we call spatial insight? Because you don't see you have something special, your insight. You don't see that. That's you seeing that. That's why it's called spatial insight meditation. Then here is in Buddhism, it is taught that we need to learn from a realized master. So this meditation teaching, we have to learn the realized masters. And this point to the importance of seeking teachings. So this realizer is talking about we have to receive this teaching from realizer master, means who know the Dharma, knowledge teachers, actually realizers who has, this teaching, knowledge teachers, knowledge masters. We have to listen these teachings, knowledge master. And this point to the importance of seeking teachings, because we have to know what we're doing. If we don't know, then could be mistake. So that's why teacher who has knowledge then learn from these teachings. So that the point is like that, teachings. It's through listening to many teachings. The why we have to learn the knowledge teacher, because this teaching is through listening to many teachings. We have to understand many different teachings, and reflecting on the meaning. We have to understand the meaning that we derive with the pure view. We will be integrating in our Vipassana meditation. So the main point, you study more and get more knowledge, then you can developed, through the developed knowledge, you can understand more Vipassana meditation teaching. It is the lack of sufficient knowledge of the teachings. So if the no knowledge enough, then this teaching is, the teacher who shared the teaching also, if without a knowledge, if without this, how to, share this teaching, then that is the obstacle. So it is in the lack of sufficient knowledge of the teachings that present impediment to Vipassana. Laterally seeing beyond. So what means Vipassana? Laterally seeing beyond, like seeing beyond beyond the precepts. So usually we, understanding kind of like we thinking thoughts, not that kind. The Vipassana means more beyond in that. Vipassana or seeing beyond means looking deeply into the suchness nature. So this meditation is looking to our own nature, suchness own nature. There are two aspects to Vipassana. So here has two categories Vipassana. Analytical or discursive meditation and non-conceptual meditation or rest in the mind. These two is very important. This all the Buddha's philosophy teaching is subsumed into these two categories. So analytical, discursive meditation and or non-conceptual meditation, rest in the mind. So usually generally we have two types of meditation. The two types of meditation is analytical meditation and rest in mind meditation. Analytical meditation is not the rest in your mind. You have to use your knowledge, investigating, analytical. So that way you have the understanding. So here in this book also two categories I already talked with you. So the two categories, first, like we have a forethought meditation. That also part of analytical meditation because you have to cultivate reflection or these 6 rounds. And then you have a love meditation, that also part of the analytical meditation. And then compassion, bodhicitta meditation, that also part of analytical meditation. But in here also analytical means more investigating about our phenomena. Then non-conceptual is like you don't have to analyze, you don't have to anything investigating. Just relax your body, relax your mind, and then look into your mind, look into your own nature, resting. So that two sections here, Vipassana has two sections. Then first one, so today, first one we're going to discussion here. Discursive meditation has two subcategories. First one, analytical meditation has two different kind of categories. Meditating on the selflessness of the person and meditating on the selflessness of phenomena. So main point is this going into the philosophy view, Mayamika view. But in this book is focused for meditators. We don't analyze it that much comparing to Mayamika teachings. So comparing to Mayamika teaching, if you're going to study Mayamika teaching, you go through study like use logic, this investigating, takes years to understanding, true nature. But here is not really focused that much in the analytical here. we just mention about analytical, and also we're going to meditate the resting mind. Then during that time, if you don't have this part of knowledge, so you get confused, you get dropped, and then you don't know why it's like that. You don't have answers. Something, going on the resting mind meditation during that time. So that's the reason I have to share this analytical part a little bit here. But this is for the meditators have to use. Of course, here I just told to you is like not all the Buddhist like philosophy analytical is here, but it's essential, most important for meditators need something that know. So that part is in here. So now, see, here is we have two categories. Meditating on the selflessness of person and meditating on the selflessness of phenomena. So the yogin or yogini proves the selflessness of the person as follows. Proves the selflessness of person as follows. The meditators first step have to know selflessness of personal meditation. Otherwise, we cannot go through our self-grasping, because we have self-grasping, and then due to that arise emotions, thoughts. So we always think and the self is exist permanently. So then due to that, we cannot release our emotions, attachment. So that's why here is the meditators have to investigate first selflessness of a person. And the self is exist or not, we have to investigate. So in this analytical, very short sections, main point you know, then I and the self is not exist. The goal is you recognize I and the self is not exist. Then why we have I and the self? Then our I and the self is a delusion, our delusion. So same as a dreaming. And you can have a dream last night. That time you have I, you have self, you have then object going on lots of things. But when you wake up that night, all the dreaming, self and I and the object there, nothing is exist. It's always a delusion. So like that, so meditators use this method and practice meditate, then they recognize I and the self is not exist. Then realize that. They realize that I and the self is not exist, then the person didn't have emotion arise. No emotion arise, then that person was liberated. So that's why we have to go through this the very short way and analyze, not like really detailed, like same as I told you other teachings talk. So then here, the person is just this continuum of our aggregates, including our mind, or rather this sense of a thinker, a person who is feeling and emoting, this movement of mind. So the first we, have to know what means person, who I am, who you are. So we have to recognize that. So I am, this is a person, so this is me, and this is he, she means, first we have to find aggregates, and then with the mind, and the mind is moving, always thinking something else. So that all including together, then we call person. So then that is truly exist or not? It cannot be exist. Truly cannot be exist. Delusionally, yes. Relatively, yes. But truly, the person is this far aggregates, include mind, sense of thinker is exist or not, is not exist. So that's we're going to investigation. Then long as you have, if you don't recognize that, example, like you have five aggregates, your consciousness, your feeling all comes together, then you have these feelings, and you have I, and you have self, you have others. So due to that fixating and clinging, all this comes together, then we have fixating and clinging to the person as being a permanent, singular entity, as being me or I. So then we're thinking about I and he, she. So like we think is like we are exist. We're thinking about something permanently, inherently exist there. So I and the self. Then, so there is what is known as self of the person or subjective mind. So that is that we confused actually. Why we get confused? Because all these five aggregates, consciousness, then feeling, all gathering together. Then you have I and the self. We think I and the self is exist permanently there. So due to that, we get a confusion. From the construction of a self come to emotion position. Then long as you have I and the self, we think is that exist, arise emotions. Comes then long as you have emotions, we create the karma, comes karma. From the karma comes suffering. See, karma take to suffering. So now is the main point is why we are in samsara. Why we are stuck in samsara. This vipassana answer is we get confusion. Why we get confusion? Because all this five aggregates, mind, feeling gathering together, we think I and the self is permanently exist. Even not exist, but we have that confusion exist. Due to that, then emotion arise. The emotion create a karma, our own karma. So then karma take to the samsara, rebirth again and again. That is a suffering. That's why we are suffering in samsara. Karma comes suffering. So therefore, the root of all suffering and all negativity is the self, as the subjective mind. So then where is this suffering come from? What is the root cause? Root cause is self-grasping. Root cause is self-grasping, subjective mind. No, see, Buddhist is a science. Its self is permanently, inherently exist. Then whatever you do practice cannot affect to that. You cannot remove yourself. But our self is not permanently, inherently exist. It is delusion. That's why we can moved or get rid of. We can get rid of our self-grasping. Because the self is not exist inherently there. It's the delusion. That's why then method is many different methods how to get rid of self. Many different methods. Self is only thinking about I and I, my, right? Self means. So Buddha say you can meditate impermanent. That also introduced to self. Self is because I and self is only one entity permanent. So impermanent means introduced to permanent. We have meditation impermanent. So we have a meditate love. Love is a unconditional love. Love is also positive feeling. Selfish is a negative feeling. That two also cannot be really together because contradict each other. Positive love feeling, negative selfish feeling cannot be together. So that's why we have to create a love. Then love also arises, become unconditional love, strong one, that can very strongly introduce to our selfish self. And then arise compassion. Compassion means like not thinking about my own benefits. Compassion means like really thinking about the others, our mothers and sentient beings wishing free from suffering. So that also introduced to selfish. Then shamatha meditation, vipassana, this intellectual is all called interdependent. Interdependent is emptiness, go to subtle level. So selfish, self and I is like permanent, inherently exist with thinking. That's why you meditate interdependent, emptiness is antidote to self-grasping. So many different kind of method is we can use this apply and remove our self-grasping. Long as we get rid of our self-grasping, then we get to realize the selflessness of a person. We reach that level, no emotion arises. No emotion, because where is emotion based on? Emotion is based on self-grasping. That's the reason meditators also use this selflessness of a person meditate. This meditation is also your protection too, very powerful. Because why we have this, sadness, unhappy feeling, and the mind's very sad. Is sometimes they call what they call the depressions. People get mental problems. That's all due to the selfish self grasping. So you meditate the selflessness of a person you love to yourself. And the self is not exist. Then you don't have these negative feelings. You can release negative feelings because you not exist. Then where is negativity? These feelings exist. The house is not exist. Then windows, drawers also not exist. Yeah. Fire is not exist, then the warm is not exist. When the cold is not exist, then like that, just mean point, the I and the self is not exist, then negative feeling also cannot be there. So this method is right now here is in the book, kind of intellectual following, but you have to apply when you get sad, unhappy, and your feeling is really nervous, fears, very strong feeling comes, fear comes, then you close eye, look to yourself, use this method analytical, using your eye is not you, your nose is not you, your ear is not you, so your arm is not you, then your look all this part of your body, not you. Then where is you? It's low to your mind. Mind also not you, because mind is not exist. It's emptiness. Then you don't exist. Then this all negative feeling also not exist. Negative feeling is not exist. Emotion also gone. So that is the method. This the selflessness of personal meditation. So why we are stuck in samsara? Because due to selfish, self-grasping, we recognize this is my arm, this is my eye, okay, this is my hand, this is my leg. Then first all like grasping to this your body. And then you grasp into, this is my glasses, okay? This is my house, this is my car, this is my home, this is my family. So then you grasp into all the object. Actually, you know exist, then where is you can have my arm, it's my arms. It's also actually not true. But why then we have that? Because it's due to delusion. Delusion, we don't, self is so strong, then we don't recognize. That's why it's, selflessness meditator practitioners, they're not grasping to even their own body. They can give the body for others, no pain, no suffering. Why no pain? Because they don't have attachment. They don't. They have realized the selflessness of personal and the service not exist for them. That's why they're not suffering. So we have many different methods like get rid of self-grasping through this intellectual meditate. So we also know our own experience. See, something is not belong to you. So the object is whatever going on, like get problems. We don't suffering. But one day you get that object, your mind take is mine, then the object is going on something wrong, you get hurt, suffering. Why is that? Because due to self-grasping. So that's why this our self is like not only short term. It's beginningless time until no. So create karmic imprints is very strong. So not easy to break that self-grasping. Not easy. Very hard. That's the reason we have to cultivate and meditate this selflessness of person. Then you meditate the selflessness of person, actually really helps our release emotions, fears, negative thoughts, easily release. Then becomes very important your true protection. So therefore, the root of suffering and all negativity is the self or the subjective mind. In other words, it comes down to an error known as mental states. The self is what we call the body, the constitutional elements, and the sense fields. So no, whereas we're talking about the self is all these five aggregates and body, the constitutional elements, the five elements, and the sense of fields. Then, but the person is not the essence of the aggregates and the like. This is because the aggregates and the constitutional elements are impermanent and are combination of many parts. So now, analyze. I in the self is like actually thinking about I is one, like we usually I is one, but no one there. Why? Five aggregates means five, not one. So five elements is not one, is many there, right? So this everything is like compound of phenomena. It's impermanent, not permanent. So now we're thinking about I is one and investigating not one there because of that contradiction right over there. What we thought true reality is no same. True reality, we don't have one body. So many part of body, right? Branches. then this body also have 5 elements, not one. Then not only body, person means not only body, feeling, consciousness, and 5 aggregates. Usually we say 5 aggregates. So this all comes together. It's called person. So then clearly there, no one is there, it's many. Then I and self is not one permanently inherently exists there because it's already many, combination of many parts. The person is seen as permanent and as a single entity, a concept which we input onto something else. See, we're thinking about a person means is seen as a permanent. So we always think about I and the person is a permanent. And as a singular entity, we think about a singular entity, one concept which we impute onto something else. So then that's why I and self is no one, it's many, it's different. However, this person cannot really be said to exist as what we think it to be or as anything else. You cannot find person is something else too. Person is I, we thinking about I, self, permanent exist, one entity is usually we delusion thinking is cannot be any other than our body, cannot be any other our 5 elements, 5 aggregates. So then 5 aggregates, 5 elements, these are compound of phenomena impermanent. Self is this 5 aggregates. Cannot be any other than that. But 5 becomes self is also impermanent. Any other thing or entity. It is uncautioned assumption of me and mine is nothing but a delusion. Me and mine is not really truly exist. You investigate, analyze. But we have me and mind. Why is it that? Because that is called delusion. So you investigate, you recognize ma and I and ma is not permanently inherently exist. So usually we think I and ma is always there, exist permanently inherently. So that is a delusion, not true. I and ma is, because it's of I and ma is not one singular entity permanent, not there. We should investigate in this way. So then also we can investigate different ways also too. In the same way, we should try to understand concepts and emotions, which are the expression of the inner subject of mind. So now we also investigate actually our body is not exist. Now you can investigate your feeling, you can investigate your mind, you can investigate your thoughts, we can investigate our emotions. So that's all actually emotions not exist, thoughts is not exist. Yeah. And our feelings not exist. All this you can, analytically, you can investigating this object. We should try to understand concepts and emotion, which are the expression of the inner subject or mind. Look directly at the concept or emotion itself. Try to see if it has a form or a shape. So no, we think, oh, of course we have a mind, we have a thought. Thoughts exist. So we think that, but main point, the thoughts is not exist. Meditators, like when we meditate, we have to do like this, inner subject of mind. Look directly at the concepts or emotion self. So you have to directly look to your thoughts or emotion. Try to see if it has a form or shape. So your thoughts exist, then thoughts as a form body. If the thoughts as a form body, they must also have the shape, different kind of shapes, thoughts. There has or not, you have to investigate. Deeply and carefully look to see where the emotion comes from. So then we look to our directly at the concepts of emotion is located. And where it goes, where its emotion goes. So think about the mind is the same as the space. Thoughts, emotion,
Khenpo-la, we cannot hear you.
I think we just lost him for a second.
hello, sorry about a lost connection. You need patience. We are in the top of the mountain. We're looking, internet is emptiness, cannot find. So any place located, but it is there somewhere. You investigate where is that, you really cannot find. So no, see, we think mind is the same as like space, our thoughts, emotions, clouds. So now, where is this clouds is come from? Where is it gone? Some certain days is appear in the sky. Some certain days is gone, disappear. We don't know where they're gone. We don't know where they come from suddenly or with space is filled of the clouds. But sometimes then it's all gone. We don't know where they're gone. So like that. And all these thoughts, emotions arise. So you really investigate the thoughts, emotions, where it's come from. Not really come from source. Because it's all condition comes together, thoughts, emotion arise. Same is like this cloud. It's condition, cause condition, all this comes together, appear in the sky. but some another cause conditions disappeared. So then there's no really permanent cause condition there. So like that, we also have to think about the, where is the emotion come from, where it is can be located, and where it is goes. First, in this present awareness, you have mind. And suddenly out of this mind, a thoughts or emotion arises. Try to see where following. Meditators do this. So just look first mind and the create very strong emotion, one thought something. Then they analyze that emotion, where it comes from, where it goes, located, where it goes, they analyze, but to really see your no source come from, no place any located. So then you cannot find and where it is goes, it's all is dissolved to naturally. Because it itself is emptiness, no exist, truly no exist. If thoughts, emotions exist, then you first must have to have a come from source. You must have to have source. You must have to have located. You must have to have somewhere else goes. But thoughts, emotions don't have that. Why? Because it's no exist. So that is like another method meditators using, especially when you have a lot of thoughts going on in your mind. Just directly look to that thoughts. Where is this come from? Analyze. You cannot find. Then where is located? You cannot find the location. Where is it goes? You didn't recognize it's disappeared. You don't know where it goes. That means emotion is not exist. So then try to see where the following. So you have to look, see where it's following. You cannot see. Did it come from mind or something outside of the mind? So then you can analyze again. Oh, that thoughts, emotions come from mind or somewhere else. So this clouds is come from space or not. So you analyze. It is one with the mind or it is separate from the mind. Then you analyze. My emotion, my mind is the same or different, separate. This clouds and space is the same or different. Beach, ocean and waves are same or different. You have to analyze. If you conclude that thoughts or emotion are mine, as some beings are to the same, some beings are to the sun. It is a fallacy because the sun and its rays shine simultaneously. Okay. So then, if you conclude that thoughts, emotions are the mind, so you think, oh, thoughts, emotions, mine. Then that is incorrect. Thoughts, emotions cannot be mine. Space and clouds are simultaneously together, right? So like that, then how can be space and clouds the same? If they are same, they cannot be have simultaneously together. Simultaneously together means it's separate, not same. So like that, your thoughts and your mind is simultaneously together, then it cannot be same, it must be different, must be separate. So see, mind and the thoughts is the same, they cannot be have simultaneously separate. Cannot be, together simultaneously. That's why if you conclude thoughts or emotions are minds, they as the sun beings are to the sun, it is foolish because the sun and its rays shine simultaneously. some and some beings are same or different, is we have to say different. Why? Because simultaneously some and some beings are together. So that means it's a separate. It is not different, it must be same, it cannot be have simultaneously together. Then if you conclude that mind and thoughts, mind and emotions are one, how are they one? Oh, they cannot be separate. You know, the main point is the thoughts mind is simultaneously separate. Then that means all mind thoughts cannot be one, but that's also incorrect. It is it that mind appear as thoughts. Is that how they are one, or is it that thoughts are merged with mind? If you conclude that mind and the thoughts are not one, try to investigate. So here is lazy, mind and the thoughts cannot be separate. Mind and the thoughts cannot be one. So then what is? You cannot be one, you cannot be separate. What is that? That means no exist, no inherently exist. If the thought exist permanently, inherently, you simultaneously, you have to see the mind and different. Without the mind, you have to see thoughts. If thoughts is permanent. So without the mind, no thoughts. That means thoughts itself is not exist inherently. Then thoughts mind, okay, so thoughts mind is a cause and the result. Cause and result cannot be cause and the result. Mind is a cause, thoughts as a result cannot be, because mind and thoughts is together, together, same as the sun and the sun beings. Then cause and result cannot be together. So cause is a change to the result, When you put a seed, that seed is transformed to the fruit. They cannot be together. So like that way, we have to investigate. Try to examine how they are different and so forth. Then now try to see where these forms that appear to you come. So now also you analyze thoughts and emotions. Same time, also we can analyze this, what are we seeing these forms, where it come from. Now try to see where the forms that appear to you come from. Do they come from the mind? If they come from the mind, then it would follow that forms should always follow you wherever you go. Then that is really hard, right? You cannot see any new things. If these forms is come from mind, then these forms always follow you wherever you go. Because the form is come from your mind. That's a fallacy. That's also incorrect. Not possible. So we know like these forms not follow us. That's why you can see different countries. That's why you can see different people. Yeah. So we always see different object. That means that form is not follow us. The main point is this forms is not mind. Then on the other hand, if they do not come from mind, okay, this forms not from mind, forms should also continue to appear and be perceived by your corpse, even after you die. Then we say, oh, this form is not mind. So it's different. No mind, right? Without mind, you have these forms. then dead body, corpse also have to see this object. Because this form is not come from mind. Even you don't have a mind, you have to see all this object. Still, you have to see object. When we die, our dead body have to see all these forms. That's not possible, right? Cannot see because no mind. The corpse cannot see the object. Why? The forms also come from mind. Then, okay, forms come from mind. Then this all forms follow you wherever you go, right? Because it's your mind. Then that's also incorrect too. Then what is it? Mind itself is not exist. Form it also not exist, inherently permanent. If mind and form inherently exist, then you have this problem. See, thoughts exist, then you have to see where thoughts come from mind or not, or must be same or must be different. You have that problem. So you cannot say yes, you cannot say no here. This kind of in this kind of when we investigating it, because both are incorrect. So you cannot say your thoughts come from your mind. You cannot say thoughts not come from mind. So you cannot say this form is mind. You cannot say this form is not mind. Then why is that? Because it's emptiness, not truly exist. When you investigate, you cannot find anything. Then all you can say is form is a mind, form is not mind. Main point, when you investigate, nothing is truly exist. That's why you cannot have answer there. If something permanently inherently exists, then you have to say yes or maybe no. You have answered there, but truly nothing exists. That's why you don't have answer there. So on the other hand, if it do not come from mind, forms should also continue to appear and be perceived by your corpse, even after you die. Examine in this way and apply a similar essential analysis to sounds, smell, taste, touch, and the rest. So then we can analyze the song is come from mind or song is not come from mind. The songs is come from mind. Wherever you go, always you hear the sound. Yeah. If song is not come from mind, then dead corpse also have to hear the sound. Both are incorrect. So like that, the smell, taste, touch, and the rest, everything, that way is no inherently exist or is emptiness. Next, do not look at the thoughts, emotions, or any of the appearances of the six sense objects. Instead, just look directly and nakedly at the very essence of mind itself. So then you have to analyze. Don't think about, okay, this six object. No, think about your mind, analyze in your mind. So just directly look into your mind. Just look directly, and nakedly means like no thoughts. Then no thoughts, look directly into your mind, at the very essence of mind itself. Is there a vividness, a presence? Is there emptiness? Is it more of a clarity or more of an emptiness? So you have to analyze, oh, my mind is emptiness, or my mind is clarity, or my mind is, present, awareness, like what kind of you have a mind. You have to using analytical, look to your investigating your mind. which seems to be more predominant. So your mind is more clarity, vividness, or your mind is more strong emptiness, more strong than vividness, which is predominant. You have to analyze that. Or is it in inseparability of clarity and emptiness? Or you check your mind is empty and clarity is inseparable. It is important to really probe, really examine in this way. So you have to examine that way. Then you recognize, really understanding, all these phenomena, objects are not inherently exist, but is there, and relatively or delusionally is there. Then our mind also, when you investigate, truly not exist, but is always there. So you kind of recognize that. So that helps you actually free from your doubts and thoughts. When you meditate, you have lost this kind of a caution arise in your mind. So you analyze and use analytical first before go into the rest of mind. Use this part that helps your meditation is become more clear, understand. Because this all the phenomena, objects are not inherently exist. That's the reason you don't have answer. You cannot say exist, you cannot say non-exist. Relatively exist, but truly when you investigate, not there, no exist. So then by investigating and examining in this way, the great meditator will eventually reach the point where he or she will not get trapped in the web of doubt or skepticism, and will make great studies in his or her practice. This is the reason why we should examine in this way. So that's the reason we have to examine. That part is like examine, or is selflessness of called personal meditation. So you examine yourself and I and the self, you examine thoughts, you examine your emotions, and you examine all these forms, you examine your, song and the text or other object. Is there actually they all are not exist. So you recognize that it's called selflessness or personal meditation. And the second is called selflessness of a phenomena meditation. This is a more kind of more bigger picture. Selflessness of phenomena. Meditate in this way, phenomena refer to the author phenomena and to the inner subject mind. That being so, it is the grasping and the fixation to a subject-object duality of inner subject and world out there that is known as the self of phenomena. So what is the self phenomena? So we have to recognize what means self phenomena. The phenomena refer to the author phenomena, or the forms, and to the inner subject mind. So subject and object both. That being so, it is the grasping and the fixation to a subject-object duality of inner subject mind and the world, or the truth there. So mind is like fixation to the object, or the there. That is known as the self of phenomena. That's called self of phenomena. So long as you have self of phenomena, then so self of phenomena is cause, and then it's a self-grasping, fixation is arising. So due to that, emotion arises. meditators have to recognize the self, self phenomena is not exist. We have to recognize the self phenomena is not exist. Then even everything that falls into the sphere of the self nature of phenomena is according to atomic truth, nothing outside of or apart from mind. So now we just analyze is this one, we have to think about the phenomena means everything. Or this object. And then subject mind. Everything included there, phenomena means. Nothing is left. So this can be shown when you try to disconstruct any phenomena down to the subtle atomic level. Then we have to investigate this phenomena is truly exist or not. So when you use investigation, absolute true logic, investigate, we cannot find anything inherently permanent inherently exist in the object. So we talk about a house. Where is the house? You investigate. Take out the windows, take the doors out, take the beams and the pillars, then all this one by one, no house is existed there. They all comes together, put together, we call house, but you investigate, where is the house, calling. One by one, you cannot see the house. Then houses, you don't see, then you will say, okay, the door. Houses exist because it's a door. You investigate a door also not exist. Whereas you call the door upper part, lower part, or middle part, and the right side or left side of the door is you take out part of pieces, no door exist. The window also like that, no exist. Then you take down everything, pieces is like nothing is inherently exist. It's always become subsumed to the atom. Atom also not exist. So it's become dissolved to the emptiness. Main point is that there nothing is inherently permanently exist there. But then why we have this object? This all object is interdependent because it causes a condition all come together, arising. No one permanent inherently source in there. If you have something permanent inherently source there, then you can point a finger to that object, but you cannot point. Where is the house? You point a finger, it's just generally whole thing, but you cannot point one singular entity permanent there. So like that, every object is like that. All the object phenomena is not exist. Due to this, the outside or part from mind, this can be shown when you try to disconstruct any phenomena down to the subtle atomic level. Each time you deconstruct it into parts, when you examine the subtle level of phenomena to find in inherent essence, you can never find any essential nature. From time without beginning, however, though forms and such are not truly rare. So the forms, object, and beginningless term until no is not rare. Not only when you investigate, it's become not rare. So that also misunderstand or investigating, then these things not rare. Usually it's all everything's rare, true, but when you investigate, it's not rare. That is incorrect thinking. this all the phenomena object is like beginningless term until noise, no exist, emptiness. So then emptiness means no nothingness. You have to understand that. So emptiness means like not inherently, permanently exist. That's why Buddha said form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form. So that is very clear. Emptiness means no nothingness. What we're seeing, these forms are no exist. That's the core emptiness. Then seeing form, empty is seeing. So that means interdependent. From time without beginning, however, though forms and such are not truly real, we have grasped into them as though they were. So we have, because why is these things rare for us? We are become confused. We think this all object is rare, and our mind is confused. That's why we grasping fixation to the object. Whereas forms and other phenomena only appear as if in a dream. So same is like in the dream, you know, form and the songs, whatever appear to in our mind in the dream. So actually, when you wake up, that all this dream, your experience, no exist there. So like that, this all the phenomena objects also not inherently exist there. To childlike beings, mind itself is appearing as forms and the like, as if these were outside of mind. In reality, however, forms and the like are not anything other than mind's projection. So then what meditators we have to think? So we have to know all this phenomena is same as dreaming. Then we are like just no any education, like same as a child. To child like beings. So childlike beings like our, like, you know, who has this delusion, then that's called childlike beings. We have a delusion. So that's why all these phenomena appear to us, rare to us. So truly, mind itself is appearing as forms and the like. Mind is appear to the form. As if this were outside of mind. So this form is not really exist in the outside. It's appear to our mind is outside. We're outside of mind. That's the reason this all object is our mind, but our mind also not exist. In reality, however, forms and the like are not anything other than mind's projection. Examining in this way, forms and everything else are unreal. And since mind is not separate from this, it is also as unreal. So this all object is appear to our mind. Our mind is not exist. Then this object also not exist. Subject is not exist, object also not exist. Then where is this object is come from? Object is come from subject, mind. Subject mind is not exist, object phenomena also not exist. Because it's dependent. If you don't have a right, how can you have a left? So why is we call left? Because due to the right side. If you don't have a right, then you don't have a left. If you don't have a long, you don't have a short. That's also dependent. So like that, we say all these forms is mind. Mind itself also not exist. Then this form also not exist. Because it's unreal. Forms and the leg appear as many different things, yet they are essentially not one entity, nor are they many entities. So the forms and the leg appear as many different things. So form is like many different entities. So many trees, so many animals, so like that, so many different kind of human beings, so many entities, forms and the like appear as many different things, yet they are essentially not one entity, nor are there many entities. So there cannot be one, there cannot be many. Since mind is not separate from our outside of forms and the like, mind too in essence is not a singular entity. Then mind also cannot have one permanent, because the form is not one entity, it's so many different kind of forms. So that not one exists. If no one exists, then how can be many exist? Not possible. If you don't have $1, how you can have many dollars? This is a logic, So this forms is many entities, okay? So how can you have many entities? Because one permanent entity cannot proving, then how can you have many entities? Then mind also like that too. Mind, it cannot approve one permanent entity, then how can approve many different mind? So forms and the like appears as many different things, yet they are essentially not one entity, nor are there many entities. Cannot be one entity, cannot be many. Since mind is not separate from our or outside of the forms and the like, then mind too, in essence, is not a singular entity. Mind cannot be one permanent entity, nor is it manifold, cannot be many too. In this way, when we use wisdom to look deeply into the essential nature of mind, so you really use your wisdom, look into your own mind, in its ultimate nature, mind cannot be found. You cannot find through your intellectually your mind. Cannot be found internally, nor can it be found externally. You cannot find internally, you cannot find externally your mind. It cannot be pinpointed anywhere else either. So you cannot pinpoint to your mind anywhere, any place either. There also is no past mind, no present mind, and no future mind that can be pinpointed. So you cannot really pinpoint this past mind, future mind, and like pointing something, not possible. So think about it, like, see, right now we can share this teaching through the Zoom. So use internet. How can these connections, where is this wires going? Where is this going? Like you investigate, you really cannot find anything. But all this cause condition comes, we can see each other here, we can talk, but what we seeing each other is also emptiness, not truly existing. If it truly permanently exists, then we cannot see each other like this. Because you truly exist, how can you come into the computer? I can see you. You cannot see me, I cannot see you if we are permanently entity exist. We are not permanently inherently exist, we can see each other. So then also this knowledge, the technologies, investigation, you cannot find. I cannot find where is the internet. I cannot see. And sometimes loss of internet, right? We don't know why it's lost. So like that, you use investigate logically, intellectually, you cannot find your mind. Then how you can find the mind? How can you know? Is just through the meditation and own experience. So same is like today we are gathering here. We have our individual, our own experience. We can gathering together because we use all these technologies gathering, using all this together. But you investigate, you cannot really find one source there. It's emptiness. It cannot be pinpointed anywhere else either. There also is no past mind, no present mind, and no future mind that can be pinpointed. In these arisings, mind does not come from anywhere. It is cessations. Mind does not go anywhere else. When looking for mind, there is nothing to be located, nothing to show, no form to it at all. So all the thousand Buddhas investigating, mind is cannot find. But then mind is not exist. Mind is not exist, but it's always there. It's complicated one. Just look directly into the true essence of this mind, this vividly present awareness. You use your method, meditation, this special insight meditation, using this method, looking into your own mind. So use your mind is vividly present awareness. What exactly is it that is where? There. So then you can see directly through the essence of this mind. Just look directly into the true essence of this mind. Your mind is vividly present awareness. Then you really investigate what exactly is it that is where, is it there? It is body or it is mind. So you can investigate, this is your body, my body, or my mind. If there is a mind, if a mind exists, there must be something there, right? What is it like? Does it have a form, a shape, or color and such? Where in your body does it reside? So we have to look to our mind as a shape or color or which kind, mind, where is it located in our body? Where in your body does it reside? Where is mind reside in our body? Is it outside, inside, or in between? Mind's beginning, middle, or end cannot be seen. So you investigate that way, you really cannot find through the intellectual investigating, cannot be identified. Thus, when you are investigating with wisdom and you do not see any real essential nature of all phenomena, did not get caught up in the conceptualization of this not seeing by thinking. Is form permanent or impermanent? So no, like your investigating mind is permanent or impermanent, it is exist or not exist, you cannot find anything. Same like this, form permanent or impermanent. Is it empty or not empty? It is different or undefined, and so forth. Evolve conceptualization of feelings, perception, and the rest as well. So you can use this same logic, we can investigate our far aggregates or the phenomena. So you use this logic, your far aggregates not exist, or this phenomena is not exist. So now main point, we're investigating, our thoughts, we're investigating our emotions, we're investigating our mind, we're investigating our body, we're investigating our feelings and the percepts, and we're investigating consciousness. So not anything truly rare existing there inherently. Then all these phenomena is nothing is inherently exist. Like that, use your wisdom to deconstruct whatever the subject of the investigation. When the yogi or yogini comes to the point in which no essential nature of the object can be apprehended in the atomic nature, that is the time to enter into non-conceptual samadhi. Now you're ready to go into non-conceptual samadhi, means like you can meditate, ready to go into rest in mind meditation. After you have used your wisdom and intellect to look deeply into the true essential nature of any object focus, such as form and so forth, when you enter into meditative stability, then your meditations become very stable. First, you investigate all this analytical meditation. Then you go into resting meditation, is more stable. What is meant here by meditative stability is not a burden in form or anything. Meditative stability is not a burden in this world or anywhere between this world and the next. Since there is no point of reference that can be identified as form or anything else. This is the meditative stability beyond reference point. This is why it is known as the meditative stability of sublime wisdom. So the point is when we meditate, use this wisdom, and then your mind is free from all these concepts. So otherwise your mind can be stuck somewhere else. Your mind can be stuck with thoughts, your mind can be stuck with your body, outer or inner somewhere else. So your mind can be stuck within the world or in the somewhere else, just like here mentioned about many different kinds. This is the meditative stability beyond reference point. This is why it is known as meditative stability of sublime wisdom. Then the core wisdom is arise, sublime wisdom arise. When you meditated that, and then second category is known as resting meditation. So now you can go into resting mind. This just I share with you intellectual, analytical meditation. That part is not easy. It's hard, but here I bring, put in this book is very short information, something meditators need analyze, important things. If you go to philosophy, Bodhmaya Minka teaching, then investigating, using logic, is debating, is studies, it takes years and years to go through that. You study this Maya Minka logics, the result is you really recognize all this phenomena is emptiness. Kind of you get certainty, 100%, not dropped. everything is emptiness. You get certainty. The result is, when you study Mayamika teaching. But this one is kind of a short information, just analyze something. We usually meditators are stuck with, emotion, stuck with thoughts. Also meditators think minds exist permanently. And meditators think our body, five aggregates, and self, there are exist. So that kind of percept is go, become, you can release, go away, use this method. Because you really see what means wisdom means. Mind is free from all the conceptual. Then that is called wisdom mind. You get really high level point. If your mind is stuck with somewhere else, like object phenomena, then your mind is not have wisdom, stability, wisdom. So see somewhere stuck, somewhere else stuck. This meditation section is important. Without this analytical meditation, also resting meditation is didn't go right direction. Many people. So I share many times. They have stories too. In Nalanda University, the all scholars teaching sharing meditation is use analytical with the resting mind meditation. So 8th century Tibetan language. I mean, the Sanskrit is translation to Tibetan language, the Shindarakshita Pema Sambhava. So that time Shindarakshita, he recognized he has clairvoyance, he knows it, like his teaching is going to get obstacle, feature. So he prophesies King Tuzong Debsi, my meditation teaching get obstacle feature. So that time nobody know how to go through that, remove that obstacle. So you have to invite my disciple Kamalashila, who live in India. He only can help that. The path is go, clear up. So otherwise it's going to messed like that, don't recognize. Then meditators cannot get any experience. They cannot purify karma. They cannot, develop or increase in qualities, because if the meditations didn't go right direction. So then Shindarakshita, he passed away. He prophesied the king, he passed away. So Hashang, monk of Hashang is in the Tibet history. In the history, the talk about come from China, monk of China. His name is Hashang. So he also not just ordinary, like no education person. He's an education person. He shared meditation, but he didn't share correctly. So the why he didn't share correctly, because he didn't talk about analytical meditation. He just directly sharing is this. The resting mind. So resting mind meditation, his sharing is also directly sharing people. The people didn't have enough wisdom. So no wisdom, then they cannot clarify these thoughts. When we talk about like emotion comes, so thoughts comes, obstacle comes. So they don't know how to go through that. Then that teacher also told the student, you don't have to do anything. Just don't have to think anything. Kind of like, he said, just mind is blocked. It's kind of, no thinking about anything, just kept still, like no thoughts. That's it. No awareness. So then Kamalashila, that's why then it's the Shindarakita meditation teaching and the Mang over Hashang meditation teaching is not same. Shindarakita he talk about all this intellectually, investigating analytical meditation, understanding the true, and they meditate. But the Hashang that says no need to analytical, no need to use any intellectual, just resting, that's it. So then there came to some depth in what again Kamalashila come to Tibet, so debate with the Hashang. And so Kamalashila he created many books, meditation books, the called meditation path. And when I created this book, Shamatha section, Vipassana section, I used that part lots in this Shamatha. Vipassana section. The reason is his meditation is when he talks all this, see, like it's very profound, and especially when you go to resting mind section. So we just finished it. Here is the part of the intellectual part, but we're going into resting mind part tomorrow. So intellectual part, he used this all intellectual, but resting mind section also, he used two different methods. Wisdom with method. Method with wisdom is inseparable. So meditator have to use, we have to apply both, not only one. So without wisdom, your meditations are not vipassana. It is a part of shamatha, but shamatha also not correct one. Shamatha kind of like just like many people does meditation, no any teacher, no using the true teachings, and then there's some people meditate, but they just block the mind. So that kind, is the Hashang monk he talked in Tibet. So below the mind is you never ever get, purify your karma and increasing your qualities. Even cannot go close to the shamatha, shamatha too. So in this part, vipassana is Kamalashila, he use wisdom with method with wisdom. When you meditate, you have to apply love and compassion. Not just not thinking about anything, just stay there. He said we have to apply love and compassion. And that is a method. Then you go use this intellectual, recognize nothing is exist. Mind is free from all these concepts, and then resting. That is called wisdom. So that wisdom and apply love, compassion. So this comes together, method, wisdom comes together, then purify our karma and increasing our qualities. So your love is growing, your compassion is more growing, your wisdom is more, strong and understanding true nature. So Buddha is not only wisdom, Buddha is not only method. So Buddha is come from wisdom and method both. So that's the reason when we meditate in the resting mind, that is essence of meditation. But analytica is, like you removing all the obstacles. Because we have obstacles of thoughts, we have obstacle emotions, we have obstacle all these forms, object, fixation to this object and forms. So song and feelings, so many this is become is an obstacle for meditation, is the fixation to that. That's why this is you're just analytical, so you clean up. It's your house is become clean. No, you can see it in there, right? Like that. So we build the house, but still house is dirty, then no, you cannot be peace there. First, you have to clean up a house. It's, house is clean and perfect, then you see that you get peace and joy. Your house is dirty and a mess, and then there has lots of poisons inside your house. It's not easy to you see the snakes and they're running in the front of you. How you can stay calm and peacefully there. So you have to get rid of snakes, and the different kind of animals bring the disease, and the poisons. You have to get rid of that first. You have to make clean up your house. So that is a part of the intellectual meditation. So we have to clean up all our thoughts, emotions. So fixations, where it's come from, just analytically, you really recognize true nature. So no resting mind means then you have to go into that state. When you go into the nature state, so always we have to apply method first. Before meditation, you have to do, so let's follow, like we already talked last week, shamatha meditation, beginning the shamatha meditation. So we sit down and the cushion, and then create like some offering object, special object, and then you put some offerings, things there. This also helps, like you create accumulation, merit, and if you use this special object, you can do prostration mentally or physically, you can do confession, you can do rejoicing, you can do all this 7 branch practice there, create accumulation enough, and then you mind generate, love and compassion, mind generation practice. Then that after you go into resting mind. So you have to go first preparation part. And you need something, the preliminary practice first. So that is a method. Then you go into meditate. In the meditation, resting, you resting your mind in there, but resting your mind during that time, not always you get peace and joy there. So due to your emotions, thoughts, sometimes you really meditation is affected your self-grasping. Then you get kind of like scared, you get nervous, you get fears, and you don't want to meditate. That kind of, like, because due to negative result, you get that kind of feeling arise. So then you have to apply again method. So method is say love, compassion, bodhicitta practice, but at the same time you can practice yadam deity. So cultivate, yadam, like compassion, Buddha, wisdom, Buddha, Tara, like which is more you connections that Buddha you practicing, and remove the obstacle, negativity, and then go into again, meditate, rest in mind, vipassana. So that all is like, you bring many conditions, causes of conditions together, then negativity cannot overrun you. So your meditation can be, like kind of, subdued your negative emotions. So that's the reason here, this book, rest in mind, is I follow this Shindarakita and Kamalashila. So have a lot, this informations about how to apply love and compassion in the meditation. So when you meditate, also sometimes you get really good feeling, experience, you happy, joy, you get feel blessed too. And then that time also you can cultivate love and compassion for others, because so many beings are suffering, and they don't have these special instructions, meditation teachings. So we have that, then you recognize, oh, I have this perform teachings and I have this perform practice. I'm so lucky, and many other beings don't have this. That's the reason due to, like emotional negative suffering in samsara. You recognize that you can apply compassion for other beings. Then sometimes you get a negative feeling also. That time also you can apply positively, like, love, compassion, meditation practice. So you have to go back and forth. This all practice, like wisdom, method, bring together. Then can purify karma, increasing our qualities. Your meditation is goes right direction, successful. You can get your own experience. So that's we can share tomorrow how to meditate like rest in mind. So today we can finish it there, and you can do we do, here is a dedication. Then after dedication, if you have questions, so I can follow your question and answer. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma Lord Gambopa, Pamotropa, and Lord Digompa. Please bestow upon us most auspicious blessing of all the Kaju Lamas. But this virtue may achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise, where it is born, may it not decline, but it will increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized the atomic state, and as did Samanthabhadra, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of Buddha who attained the Tirikayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I shall bear fruit. By this virtue collected in the Tiritams, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Great Digompa Ranashiri, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of the samsara, Sawa Mangalam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
More questions?
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Bye.
That's good.
Good. Hi. Do you have any questions?
Melissa.
No questions today.
Yeah, Melissa.
Great.
Melissa has a question, Khenpo.
Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Rinpoche La. Thank you for these precious and difficult teachings. My head hurts. I wanted to ask you, so is everything we experience a projection of mind? Every person we encounter, every event is arising and disappearing solely due to our karma and cause and effect. And so each moment, less than a moment, cause and effect is in operation and always changing. Is that right?
Can you say again? I didn't get. Sorry.
Okay. Everything we perceive,
Yes.
everything we experience is a projection
Yes.
based on karma, cause and effect.
Yes. Temporarily, yes. Temporarily, we can say yes.
Temporarily.
Yeah.
And it arises and disappears moment by moment, even less than a moment,
Yes.
solely due to our karma.
Slowly. Can you say again?
It arises and disappears
Yes.
moment by moment
Oh, yes.
due to our karma.
That's not cannot say karma, because karma means like why we are reborn in the human beings. That is our karma, but the appearance is we cannot say all is karma.
Then what is it? Is it our projection? Our
Yes.
delusion?
It's a projection.
Okay.
Delusion. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
CTAN.
Hello, Kempo. Thank you for the teaching.
You're welcome.
There's a point that I'm always stuck. I hear that you and Gachin Rinpoche and all other great teachers and masters always mention that love and compassion. Okay. Where I am stuck is if we know that we and everything else is never inherently truly exists, then why is love and compassion so important? It doesn't matter whether there's love and compassion anyway if everything is non-truly inherently exists. No? That's where I'm stuck.
That's a good question. So until realize we did love and compassion, until like the realize true no existly. So the love of compassion also has like different levels, like relative truth, bodhicitta, love of compassion. And that time focus we exist. We don't have that realized. That's why we have applied love and compassion. So use that, then you can realize for true nature. You realize true nature, then also really arise unconditional love, compassion for others, because no exist but due to delusion, the beings some suffering in samsara, then you really truly arise compassion for them. Unconditional compassion is arise from wisdom. You meditate, you seeing all these phenomena no exist, all beings no exist, but due to karma, delusion, beings some suffering in samsara, then you truly unconditional, powerful compassion arise for them. And when we meditate, so you really your minds into the natural state, you get blessing, joy, and that time you see the other beings arise compassion because due to your blessing, joy, and you feel is that so powerful. The practice is true dharma power. You recognize that, and then other beings don't recognize, don't have that teachings. You then arise compassion to them. Do you get or no?
Yes. So in other words, we treasure the opportunity that we have met and heard and learned Dharma, whereas other beings don't have the same opportunity. That's why they are still in the illusion. But Khenpo, can we also understand it in the sense that having love and compassion is important because that is one of the tactics to help us completely release our self-grasping. Because when you no longer grasp on yourself, there's no oneself. So you and others are equal. So that love and compassion is not really love and compassion, but it's a strategy to let go, so to speak.
So love, compassion release ourself, and love, compassion, bring the qualities, arise qualities. So that is also a reason we have to practice love and compassion. Important. That's your question, right?
Yes, but is love and compassion a strategy instead of, being a Buddha? You must have both wisdom and love and compassion. That's where I don't understand why being a Buddha you need to have both wisdom and then love and compassion. Why can't it be just having wisdom and knowing the true nature? That's why you are the Buddha.
Buddha cause is bodhicitta. Where is Buddha has come from? Bodhicitta. So
Yes.
Buddha's essence quality is bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, we cannot purify karma. So then where does it come from Buddha? Buddha has come from bodhicitta. So where does bodhicitta come from? Bodhicitta has come from love and compassion. That's why Buddha has that qualities. Where does flowers come from? Flowers not only seeds, right? It's the sun and the water. So that is like love and compassion. Okay, thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you, Khenpo. I need some time to digest that, but thank you so much, Khenpo. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. My battery is dying, so anyone has questions, we're going tomorrow. My computer is impermanent, no. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Oh, Tukite, thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
Oh my God, these
Bye.
teachings were
See
mind
you
blowing.
tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.